To the town of Somerset, Georgia, Camille Harrington was a beacon of success. She was the founder of Hope Rising, a non for profit for formerly incarcerated men and women, a devoted wife to Darnell, a beloved mother to a 12-year-old Amara, and a role model for everyone who met her. But when Camille vanished one humid July evening, the perfect image was shattered. You see, what started as a missing persons case unraveled into a mind bending tale of deceit, revenge, and murder, leaving everyone wondering if they ever truly knew Camille at all. The last person to see Camille was her assistant, Melanie Cruz. She claimed that Camille left the nonprofit office late and she was attending a private meeting. Hours later, Darnell called the police saying his wife hadn't returned home. Camille's car was found abandoned on a rural road near the woods. Inside, police found her purse, a phone, but something strange. The driver's seat was pushed way too far back for Camille to be able to comfortably drive. There were muddy footprints leading into the woods, but they abruptly stopped, as if Camille just vanished into thin air. When the police combed through Camille's phone, they found something peculiar. A string of messages from a number saved under the name JT. The messages hinted at a secret meeting and ending with a chilling text, "You won't get away with this." JT was identified as Jacqueline Thomas, a former Hope Rising participant. Jacqueline had been one of the nonprofit success stories, but she was arrested 6 months earlier for assaulting a man who she claimed ruined her life. Upon her release from jail 2 weeks prior to Camille's disappearance, Jacqueline had sent her threatening emails demanding answers. When the police questioned Jacqueline, she admitted to meeting Camille the night she vanished, but claimed that Camille was very much alive when she left. "She looked terrified," Jacqueline said, "but not of me." She said someone was watching her. Now, Darnell's alibi seemed solid. He was at school at a board meeting the night of Camille's disappearance. He had multiple witnesses confirming his presence, but when the detectives dug deeper, they uncovered cracks in the Harringtons' marriage. It turned out Darnell had recently hired a private investigator, suspicious that Camille was hiding something. Surveillance photos showed Camille meeting with a man identified as Keith Lambert, an ex-convict tied to a Chicago robbery case from 15 years earlier. But Darnell wasn't entirely innocent. He had his own secrets. Bank records showed that he had quietly drained their joint savings account in the months leading up to Camille's disappearance. When confronted, Darnell claimed it was because he knew Camille was plotting to leave him, but investigators suspected there was more to the story. Keith Lambert's connection to Camille opened up another shocking layer to her life. Investigators discovered that Camille, whose real name was Claudia Reynolds, had been a suspect in a high-profile Chicago robbery in 2008. The robbery left 2 people dead, including Keith's brother, Martin. Keith admitted he had been blackmailing Camille, demanding a cut of the nonprofit's embezzled funds. But Keith's story took a sinister turn when he revealed a chilling detail. Camille had confessed to being the one who pulled the trigger during the robbery. Keith insisted that he hadn't killed Camille, but his involvement with her stretched for deeper than blackmail. Keith claimed Camille had lured him into a larger scheme, one involving her assistant Melanie and even her husband, Darnell. Melanie Cruz, Camille's assistant, became the next suspect when police discovered she had been funneling money into offshore accounts under Camille's name. When Melanie was interrogated, she broke down, revealing that Camille had manipulated her for years. "Camille promised me freedom," Melody said. "She said we both disappear and leave everyone else to take the fall." Melanie claimed Camille had orchestrated an elaborate plan to fake her death and frame Darnell for the embezzlement. But things went wrong when Keith Lambert discovered the plan and demanded to be cut in. According to Melanie, Camille panicked, telling her that Keith had to be dealt with. 2 weeks after Camille's disappearance, a body was found buried in the woods near her car. It wasn't Camille, it was Keith Lambert. The autopsy revealed he had been poisoned. Near his body, police found a vial containing traces of a rare toxin commonly used in developing countries. Investigators traced the toxin to shipments ordered by Hope Rising for vocational training in agriculture. Melanie admitted to forging Camille's signature to order the toxin, but claimed Camille had orchestrated Keith's murder. However, another twist emerged. Camille's fingerprints were found on the vial. Months passed without any sign of Camille until an international lead surfaced. She had been spotted in Panama, living yet under another alias. But this wasn't the real twist. Interpol tracked Camille to a private villa, where they found her living with none other than Jacqueline Thomas, the woman who allegedly threatened her. The two had been working together all along. It turned out Jacqueline had been Camille's accomplice in the Chicago robbery years ago. When Jacqueline was arrested for assault months earlier, he had threatened to expose Camille's true identity unless Camille helped her disappear. Together, they concocted the plan to fake Camille's death, kill Keith to tie up loose ends, and frame Darnell and Melanie for the crimes. But Camille underestimated one person, her daughter, Amara. After discovering a hidden stash of letters and photos in her mother's closet, Amara pieced together her mother's true identity and contacted the authorities. Camille and Jacqueline were apprehended in Panama, where Camille finally confessed to the full extent of her crimes. Darnell was exonerated, but his life was left in ruins. Melanie, while complicit in the embezzlement, received a reduced sentence for her cooperation. Amara was sent to live with her grandmother, grappling with the revelation of her mother's dark double life. Camille, or Claudia, has spent her entire life crafting an illusion of perfection, but in the end, the web of lies she spun proved impossible to escape.